Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Queen J Lotus, Pimp Sunkiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast with some quick little cute little messages from some angel numbers. So if you are in the collective of people who have been seeing any of these angel numbers being 111, 110, 355, 554, 505, 404, any of them, one of them, two of them, three of them, all of them, if you've been seeing any of those angel numbers, this message, these messages, this video here is definitely for you. Now, with the collective of the angel numbers present, we are getting some energy and some quick little cute little messages from the spirit guides, letting us know that we are on the right path. Spirit is giving you the green light to go, to act on any aspirations and inspirations that have really just been nudging you over the course of days, weeks, months, maybe even from your childhood, some dreams and aspirations that you put on ice. Spirit is saying, go ahead and throw them out and let's get it, okay? Some career changes happening for some of you. Love and money balance. Healing the money frequency through healing the heart space and getting back in touch and in tune with the heart space. These are also signs of divine presence, especially with the numbers 110, 505, and 404. When a 0 is present and an angel number, it signifies deity type presence, ancestral presence, archangel presence, like directly around you, like physically around you, serving as a protector, provider, and even just a source and a vessel of good energy, okay? Likely got some divine interventions going on with that being said, and also Spirit is letting me know to let y'all know that there are some ancestral prayers and petitions being answered through you, through us at this time, through this collective at this time. Meaning your parents or your grandparents, great-grands, great-great-great-great-great-great-grands, all of that. Some of them, many of them, or at least one of them did some prayers, did some petitions, some form of ritualistic ceremonies to assure that us, reap harvest in this lifetime, okay? Reap some good karma in this here lifetime and in this here season that we are in and that we are stepping into. Not to mention, I just saw the number 321, which gets back to that green light message. Give me the green light. Hey, okay? Green light, go. Take action on your inspirations and aspirations because there is harvest present coming from those actions. And the number is also giving us more confirmations amongst the fact that this is, at the time that I'm recording this, it is the day before the first day of spring, the first day of the actual new year. So that is not a coincidence. And that segues us perfectly into getting into the specificities of these cards. Now, for the first card that we have here, messages from these lovely angel numbers. The Wheel of Fortune, it is in reverse. And the number on the Wheel of Fortune is the number 10. 10 is a symbol of love, new beginnings, new love energy, like purified love energy, things having to be cleansed and washed in order to be rebirthed, things having to be deadened also in order to be rebirthed and reemerged. So many of us are entering a phoenix type of era, okay? Now, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, we have a lot of symbols of the fixed signs. In the original tarot, in the original imagery of the Rider-Waite tarot, there are images of an angel, which is representative of Aquarius, an eagle, which is representative of Scorpio, lion for Leo, and the bull for Taurus. So the purpose of mentioning that is because the Wheel of Fortune is about shakeups, and those fixed signs have a tendency to be very flexible, but also very habitual in a stubborn type sense. So Spirit, the divine realm, has been really shaking it up. Many of you may feel or have felt in most recent times like your life has been turned upside down in a way. Like somebody took your bag and just flipped it upside down and started shaking everything out of it and gave you a bunch of shit to have to clean up and reorganize and restructure. Throw some of that shit away, put some of it back in the bag. Might need to wipe your bag out, you know what I'm saying? So some clues and indications of resonation, okay? And this is also about 4 different elements coming together to create and alchemize divine order, infinitive order as well. So that shakeup has shaken a lot of us up right onto our divine path. It's a lot of what we asked for. It's just not in the way that we thought we'd get it. And maybe not even in the way that we would have preferred to get here, you know? Probably feel like you would have preferred a different route to get it onto this particular destination and path. Howsoever, Spirit is saying that you're having to make a assertive decision to exercise gratitude, because even though the route many of us took or was taken through to get to this point was probably very chaotic, uncomfortable, painful in some type of way, it was done so to protect us from things that we can't even see and from some things that haven't even happened yet. Okay, so you're having to, and there's a scripture concerning it that I can't think of the exact words to right now, but it's one of those moments where you're having to ask your divine realm to help you out with, a boost on your gratitude, and like I said, assertively make a decision to trust in yourself and trust in the divine realm and be grateful without getting wrapped up and having all of the answers right now. Like, okay, what am I being protected for? What is it? What's the problem? Da, 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 da. Don't worry about all that, because spirit removed you from that and is removing you from that for a reason, because your energy does not need to get invested or wrapped up in that for a reason. You're being elevated above the bullshit. You're being elevated to fly above all the haters, fly above all the haters. And some of it is you all being protected from being at the wrong place at the wrong time type shit. And again, this is some stuff that hasn't happened yet. And for some of you, when it does, and you start seeing everything that's going on from a distance, it's gonna click so clear to you why you had to go down the path that you did and why you were put in this position the specific way that you were put in this position. So, like I said, it's one of those things where you're having to give praise to God for the blessings that you can't even clearly see. Give grace and gratitude to God for protecting you from the dangers that you can't even clearly see. You feel me? Okay. Now, with this being said, this is a card of karmic cycles. Be it good or bad. But there are some things here that are actually good, even though this card is in reverse. That means that you all have been through some hardships in the most recent time. Like I said, it's probably been painful, been rocky, been rough. But we have the mosquito animal totem here in correlation with the Wheel of Fortune card and what it represents, and that is the benefits of certain things being temporary, like mosquitoes and mosquito bites. They bite you, swell up, itch a bit, and then eventually, that shit clear up. You put your ointment on or whatever, eventually that shit clear up, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the benefits of stuff being temporary, and that is the divine realm saying that the hardships that you've been through, those are not the things that are going to last always. The greatness that has always been within you, and the greatness in your response to these things, your choice to still respond to these things in an elevated sense, is what is going to be infinitive. And that leads us to the other side that this card represents, which is how to maintain the goods. Yes, there are things that are temporary, but in those experiences, there are lessons that you're meant to gain concerning how to better maintain your goods. So for instance, if some of the recent hectic experiences that you were involved in caused you or resulted in you losing money or some form of liberation or something associated with the root chakra or even the solar plexus chakra, if you felt emotionally taxed, emotionally drained, spiritually taxed, spiritually drained, or like I said, you lost something materialistic, if you will, there are lessons in that for you to evaluate what happened, how you got there, the part that you played in it, so that you can figure out what you need to do to not make those mistakes again, to not end up in those positions again. And those are a part of the changes having to be made at this time. And some of you may even feel forced into some of these changes. Again, spirit is trying to protect you and is actively protecting you. So there's this thing coming in of like, help yourself, help you. Help your divine realm, help you by being obedient. You feel me? Okay. Another message that can usually come up with the Wheel of Fortune, especially when it's in reverse, is you may feel disconnected from the karmic cycle of life. So many of you, this could feel like you just been working and haven't been seeing the benefits. You haven't been seeing the rewards, or you've been constantly been told that you got this abundance coming through, or these blessings coming through, or these different rewards and everything that's trying to come through, large sums of money trying to come through, even if it's concerning your taxes or a job delaying your pay in some type of way, a job having not gotten back to you yet, things of that nature. It's wanting to come through. Howsoever, there's a spiritual disconnect because many of you have been disconnected from your heart space. And so spirit is also coming through with lessons concerning the need to harmonize your heart space as it concerns love, your emotions, and money. Mother Earth and many of the other mother goddesses have been coming through real strong in general, trying to let everybody know that playtime is over. Not literally, but basically it's time out for that mindset and the functionality that in order to get money, you got to turn your heart off. You got to turn your emotions off in order to be successful. No. The mother goddesses have been coming through real strong, like, Let me learn y'all something real quick right fast. And it's a lot of Mother Goddess energy that has about forced a lot of us into these positions to force us back into our heart space, back into our emotional space, so that we can, one, stop neglecting ourselves and stop putting ourselves on this frequency of self-hate that ends up landing us in making decisions that are not good for us, making decisions that catch up with us in not so good ways, you know? Catching up with us in ways that we have to pay for one way or another. And that's another part of the maintaining aspect, because whatever it is that you lost in these recent hectic experiences, parts of that were blessings that you had accumulated, rewards that you had accumulated. And because you were not present in your heart space, harmonious in your heart space, the way you needed to be, it led you to making decisions. And or even if it's nothing but just placing yourself around certain people, you know, or doing things that seemed like they were simple. It caused you to make decisions that put you in position to lose what you had earned. So while there are bigger things waiting for you, God had to take you through that to make you real uncomfortable, to give you a clear view of something ain't right, and I gotta change this, gotta change these habits, gotta change these people I'm hanging around, gotta let go of some of this stuff, I gotta switch it up. Because there are bigger blessings coming through that you are definitely going to want to maintain, not only for the leisure aspect of it, but also for the purpose of fulfilling and experiencing and getting the most and the best out of your divine purpose. And a part of that is also for you to be in position to help other people. And so there are definitely, you know, as I said before, some habits, but to get some specificity for that for at least some of you, things coming up concerning certain activities. So certain clubs, bars, specific sides of town, certain groups of people that you've usually been around, certain habits concerning drinking, smoking, things of that nature. Those are some things that have likely needed to be cut off, or that you may even feel forced, like you're in a position of being forced to cut off. And Spirit is saying that it has a lot to do with, like, some of these activities, one, you just simply outgrown. Even though you may still have an attachment to it, in actuality, you've outgrown certain groups, certain places, certain activities, certain habits. Other things are habits and such that you were introduced to through toxic people. And you're having to basically be pulled away from that, pulled back from that, so that you can get back in touch with yourself. Because there's just some energy surrounding every time you engage in whatever those habits are, even though you're not dealing with those people no more, or it's some people that you probably fool with by way of certain activities. And it's just, you just need them to be removed from that energy so you can get a clearer sight of yourself, your higher self specifically. And so you can get greater realizations and clarity on certain things that those activities have been holding you back from. Some of those activities and people have been distractions, have been barriers, and you haven't been able to see it because you've just been like a fish in water with it. And so you're having to be pulled back so that you can get a clearer view. And there are certain things, and this is likely as it concerns substances for some of you. There's certain indulgence in substances where you felt like at one point at least it was giving you energy or helping you be more creative, or, you know, whatever the sort. And Spirit is wanting to prove to you that you don't need that. You don't need to be dependent on that. And Spirit also don't like, you know what I'm saying, things and people getting unnecessary credit for their work. And you don't want things or people getting unnecessary credit for your work, you know? So put you in a position to remove those substances from your life so you can really see what you're made of and really see what your divine realm is made of as well. And again, some of this goes back to just outgrowing things. At one point, maybe it did give you some sense of energy, or, you know, help expand some sense of intellectual thought or creativity and things of that nature. But you've gotten to a point where you don't need that now. And now yourself needs your pure mind, your untampered, uncompromised mind and spirit, your sobriety, to really get some things done and to really be creative as you are. And that's going to help your sense of self-love as well. Because when you are giving other things and people and substances the credit for what is naturally in you, that gets in the way of you really appreciating yourself. Now, there are some other final messages for this Wheel of Fortune card in reverse. And that is, some of you have likely felt under attack in some way, like someone or something has been sending you dark energy, evil eye energy, potentially trying to do dark magic rituals on you or whatever, what have you. And for some of you, this is true. For some of you, there has been someone or some people sending you evil eye energy, trying to do dark magic rituals on you, all of that, trying to form weapons against you, honey. And y'all are in high need of the scripture that consists of no weapon formed against me shall ever prosper. Now, I put that shall ever in there myself, but that's the quote, the scripture that y'all are in heavy need of right now. And Spirit is also saying, don't get too wrapped up in the knowledge that, somebody been, trying to throw salt in your game. Don't get too wrapped up in it, because Spirit has already saved you and you have already saved yourself. And they are continuing to save you, and you're continuing to save yourself, okay? Like the scripture says, no weapon formed against you shall ever prosper. It doesn't mean that the weapon won't form. It just won't prosper. So the weapon forms, and not to mention, this Wheel of Fortune here, this is the karmic card. So understand, you don't need to get too wrapped up in revenge. It doesn't mean don't defend yourself, but just find different elevated ways to defend yourself. If you are a spiritual worker, or you do work with spiritual workers and want to have them do some sort of defensive ritual for you, just make sure that it is coming from a place of just returning that energy back to sender with full coverage and protection of your good karma and your victory. Don't be trying to send them, don't be trying to put no roots on them and carrying on. Don't be trying to, curse their whole family or nothing like that. That's unnecessary, because God is already working on it. Spirit is already working on it. What you can do to enhance Spirit's impact is, one, make sure that you're protecting yourself. Get a ritual done, get it to protect yourself. And like I said, you may want to put them in the freezer, okay? You may want to bind them. But just be sure that your energy and your intent is pure. Bars, okay? So that you are not putting vengeful energy into the air, because you don't want to compromise your karma and your victory, okay? Okay. I hope all it made sense, honey. I hope all it made sense. And I pray that the divine realm helps to make it make even more sense to you if and when needed, honey. But just know, God is spinning the block on that ass, okay? Okay. Not only will they not prosper, but they also got some more shit coming. Yeah, so that's just another space where you're having to assertively choose to trust yourself and your divine realm. And definitely make sure that you're expressing gratitude. And that's segueing us perfectly, because expressing gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's more than just, being generous and things of that nature. It's a form of intimacy. And it also takes patience. Patience and gratitude goes hand in hand. And that's low-key, high-key something that you really have to experience, and y'all are experiencing it. So again, with that said, make sure that you're being patient with yourself, okay? Now, that said, jumping into this Ace of Cups, honey. Jumping into this Ace of Cups. After the pain, all right? We in the Ace of Cups, and honey, this is coming sooner than later, baby. This is coming sooner than later. So that's why it's very important to not get wrapped up in feeling punished, because you're not being punished. The things that you've been through in the most recent times is not punishment. It's honestly protection, as I said before, and just certain lessons that you've had to be taken through for reasons and things that you can't quite see clearly just yet, right? So with the Ace of Cups, this solidifies rewards coming in, stepping into your new journey. And this is immaculate, being the fact that it's coming after a card with the number 10 on it, right? Okay, amongst what the angel numbers as a collective and individually already symbolize, okay. So now this is also embracing the changes, and that takes patience. Once again, other things that the Ace of Cups tends to symbolize: love, new feelings and insight, happiness, creativity, emotional awakening. Just re-emphasizing a lot of things that I already said in certain ways. New activities, honey. So certain things ended so others can begin. What you feel like you lost, what you feel like you've been snatched from, or what has been snatched from you, it ain't nowhere near as good as what is coming in for you again. Another situation in case where you're having to be blindly grateful for what the divine realm is taking you through, because one, that's going to help magnify the blessings that are coming in. It's going to help them come in faster, and it's going to help you be even more grateful when they do come in. And so this is a fresh start that is putting you on a path for you to gain a greater sense of intimacy as well. So you probably have been or will be indulging in more alone time that is very introspective, peaceful. It may feel different than before too. And again, it's a fresh start, a redo, okay? So something that many of you were taken through in more recent times, it probably reminded you of something else that you've been through. It probably triggered up a lot of old emotions, old trauma. And that's just, for you to give you the chance to respond differently this time and see things differently this time. And therefore, again, raise your trust in yourself and also raise your frequency of receiving. And so Spirit is also saying, job well done, okay? Again, y'all are not being punished. Y'all are actually being prepped to receive awards, okay? So again, assertively choose But this time, assertively choose to invite optimistic energy into your space, into your heart, into your mind, body, soul, and also authentic love. And pray and ask God to make it clear to you what that is, what that looks like, what that feels like, so that you can get more specific in what it is that you're trying to manifest as well. And this will bring you a better sense of compassion and empathy for yourself, which is going to help you attract more compassionate and empathetic people. And if any of you have had a dispute with somebody that's really close to you, whether you really favor them or not, you know what I'm saying? Just somebody that's really close to you. If you've been having like a dispute with them or something, or some type of up and down rocky energy, something about this journey is meant to either end a toxic cycle with them through, like, you know, y'all really unpacking what the issues are one way or another and having a fresh start in y'all's relationship, or it's leading you to dead that relationship because that person may be one of the people that's been sending you evil eye energy, because I am picking up jealousy here. And so yeah, that may be one of the people that's been sending you evil eye energy and just being like a major energetic block. And this could be a water sign. Water signs are real good, especially when they are unevolved. They are real good at surging negative energy that just causes chaos without them having to say anything, do anything exactly. Just them sitting and pondering on something for a really, really long time and really passionately will start surging whatever the energy is. So if it's good energy, it's going to bring in abundance, optimism, great times, all that shit, celebratory things. And if it's bad energy, honey, when it rains, it pours, storms, motherfucking tsunamis. And so, yo, you could need to cord break from them. Like if this is somebody that you can't get away from immediately, like y'all live together and it's gonna take a little minute for you to be able to get from out of that space with them, you may need to cord break from their shadow self. And I do cord breakings, so hit me up if you need some assistance. But yeah, something about the interaction needs to be shedded, is being shedded, has been shedded, so that more supportive, genuinely supportive, authentically loving, compassionate, empathetic people and energy can surround you. And a part of that is, like I said, you having to get more in tune with yourself and build that up in yourself, because it's something like some of you, what you experienced recently that was hectic and rough and all of that, it allowed you to really like look at yourself beyond a shadow of a doubt and be like, bruh, like that was not my fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even do nothing. Like, I didn't even do nothing for all that. Like, again, of course, you know, accountability, because we're in control of ourselves, you know, eventually any situation leads back to yourself one way or another, right? Even if it's just some way that you were thinking about yourself or to yourself, they ended up attracting some energy, okay? Right. But it doesn't mean that you deserve the hardships that may have came with it. It doesn't mean that you deserve the harsh responses that you may have gotten from people as a result of it, right? And so, even though that's frustrating when something happens and there's this drastic response that seems unnecessary and unwarranted, but Spirit put you in that position because it's something else that happened in the past, likely, where you were like, bro, I did not deserve it. That was not my fault. Like, I didn't even do nothing. I didn't do anything to cause them to react to me that way. I didn't do anything to them. I didn't do what they said I did. You know what I'm saying? And Spirit just put you in like a situation that may be similar or just brought up similar feelings for you to see it beyond the shadow of a doubt. Like, bro, I did not deserve that. And that is leading you to be more compassionate and empathetic with yourself. Boom. And for you to develop a habit of being more compassionate and empathetic with yourself. Again, that doesn't mean that you freeing yourself of total accountability in your life, or, you know, that you don't make mistakes or whatever, what have you. It's just you having a clear vision on, I don't deserve to be treated like shit. I don't deserve to be treated so harshly. I don't deserve to be talked to crazy like this. I don't deserve this harsh ass judgment that's being delivered to me. You know what I'm saying? So that when you get clear on the fact that you don't deserve chaos, then it also makes you clear that you deserve love, that you deserve victory, that you deserve compassion. You deserve to win. You feel me? Okay? I hope that's making things even more clearer. Okay? Okay. And now, to wrap up on the reading, there was some like career financial things that came through. Of course, I already touched on the fact of like a lot of us are having to get more in tune with our heart space to heal that frequency of receiving, right? And, you know, healing the heart space to heal the money frequency and things, right? And so there are also some other things here. Some of you may be dealing with some sort of conflict or negative energy at work. Now, by the wheel of fortune, Some of you are about to have a career change. Some of you are about to leave whatever job you at and do something different, something that's more in tune with your passion and your divine purpose. For others of you, there's a need for you to bring more compassion and empathy into your workspace. And this is going to help you handle people better, having to deal with people better, and essentially not take things so personal or not feel like you have to be on edge or ready to fight or ready to argue type shit with your coworkers. And essentially, it's going to help you have a better understanding and better access through yourself and others. And there may be, some things coming to you through things that you watch on TV, songs that you hear, things that pop up on social media, giving you tools to defend yourself from a more elevated sense. And or even understand that it may not be a moment where you need to defend yourself. Sometimes it just may be a moment where you need to call back your energy and call unto your power, your authentic sense of power, to disengage from those people as best you can. Yeah, no? And it's something that I seen online today too. And this is not to offend, anybody or be, insulting or anything, but it's just kind of a fact in a way. But the person in the video was like, keep in mind when we were in school, the special ed people and the quote unquote regular kids were separated. And so if you see kids in a certain class acting a certain way, you like, oh, okay, they just special needs. Don't pay them no mind. Don't, get too worked up because they can't help themselves, So that's kind of something that's coming up here because to follow up with what they said, they were like, now when we graduated high school, everybody was just dispersed into just, general collective, general interacting. And so it's a little harder to tell who was in them special need classes and who was in the regular classes. You feel me? And so all that said, it could be certain people that you're working with that just can't help themselves. And because they're not put in a specific type of class, you know what I'm saying? It may be a little harder for you to just look at them and be like, they can't help themselves. I just need to, be patient with them or whatever. So yeah, Spirit sent that through for a reason, because it's a need for some of you to understand that some of the people that you're working with or may have to be around can't help themselves, honey. They are literally challenged and delayed in ways that are, low-key, high-key, beyond repair, or just beyond what you or anybody else is able to do for them. And you just have to let them be and pray for them, honey. And don't compromise your karma, your happiness, or your peace trying to change people that just won't. And with all that being said, child, if I do say so myself, honey, I have milked this cow dry. And I'm thoroughly appreciative for the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please do me a divine design and like, share, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to be back through these queenly quarters for the next time. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you in all ways light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.